I'm joined now by Sajjan Gohel from London. He's the International Security Director at the Asia Pacific Foundation. We spoke just last week after the arrest of Salah Abdeslam. You said it was the most significant counterterrorism effort against ISIL, but you also went on to say at the time that there must be a lot of nervous people within ISIL. Do you think perhaps they were plotting something of this magnitude and actually moved up the execution because of the fact he was in custody and might cooperate with police?
It's a very important point that you raised, Mike. This type of attack that took place in Brussels against an airport and a metro station, it couldn't have happened overnight. It required planning, reconnaissance, coordination. That takes time. It's likely that this was an ISIL plot going back some time, but they did bring it forward after Salam was captured. Because they were concerned that he may actually leak information to the intelligence services about ISIL safe houses, personnel, and potential plots.
Do you think there's a potential for more attacks?
I'm afraid it is very possible. The intention is there. They may not be able to necessarily execute plots all the time, but ISIL has the desire. And keep in mind that the plots are constantly being disrupted by the authorities. Many fail. They're just not executed properly. But every now and again, there is one plot that is able to get through security, exploit a hole or a weakness. And today in Brussels, that was one example.
You said that they've been able to disrupt, but does Belgium really have the capacity to deal with this threat? I saw one account today where someone in the security apparatus, speaking anonymously, said it's an impossible situation. Honestly, very grave. Security services say they have more than 200 open files. They just can't keep up with the threat.
200 open files, and keep in mind that there are some 500 foreign fighters from Belgium that are currently in Iraq and Syria, and some of them are coming back and forth. This is a huge challenge. This is an uphill treadmill, effectively, for the intelligence services. For every individual that they capture and prosecute, there are potentially another 5 coming along the assembly line. One of the biggest problems is Belgium internally. This is a country that's mired with a lot of bureaucracy. There are different layers of security and intelligence. They don't always cooperate. And you also have the linguistic problems, that for every position, there has to be a Flemish speaker and also a French speaker, and that makes it more complicated. And all these challenges make it easier for the terrorists to carry out attacks.
I spoke to someone today who passed through that airport just yesterday. He said he was struck by just how much security was present, how safe it appeared. So how do you guard against an attack like this?
Well, keep in mind that you can have security at airports and railway stations, but there isn't security for people to walk in. There's no scanning system. So at departures, family members can say goodbye to their loved ones, which is different to other countries like Egypt or Jordan, where it's very restricted as to who can actually enter. Now, one hopes that that doesn't ever become the case in Europe or in North America or even China. But the terrorists are constantly trying to create problems. It's not just about killing, it's also about disruption. That's their secondary objective. And unfortunately, they've achieved that today. And their goal is to change the way we feel and think about our own personal safety.